Hi, my name is Eileen Kelleher. I'm a licensed clinical social worker in Chicago, and I am a therapist mainly working with children, women, and families. One of the things that I was inspired by recently was a photo that said celebrate life. And the reason that that hit me was because this has been a time with COVID-19 and with everything going on that there's been a lot of grief and a lot of change. And, we're hearing about death more than we might usually hear about. And so our thoughts can sometimes, if we're prone to anxiety and depression, can naturally go towards the darker aspects of the things we hear on the news and just kind of hone in on, am I going to die? Are people around me going to die? And this can happen with children, with teens, with adults. And so I wanted to focus a little today on what does it look like to choose life in the midst of all these times? What does it look like to reconnect with that, whether it's a life source, whether it's a feeling of creativity, whether it's a feeling of pleasure or enjoyment? How do we reconnect to that so that we can be, more full and able to show up in other areas? Because a lot of us are, working from home while also taking care of children, while also trying to be teachers. There's just, everyone's taking on so many roles or in a lot of fear about what's going on. So how can we come together and reconnect with our sense of wonder and joy and fulfillment and love of life? And so I think for me, one of the quickest ways to get there is through our senses. And I really I've done recently dancing. I think that dance is a really fun way to get back into your body, to get moving, and to also reconnect with a sensual side of you, to reconnect with a fun side of you. You can even do dances to slower or sadder songs to work out some of your grief. You can have a dance party with you and your kids every day just to get out some of that energy that's come from being cooped up. But I feel like dance is such a fun way to just reconnect. And it really changes the course of my day when I make the effort to put on a song I like and really go off. And then another thing that you can use in terms of connecting with your senses, is there a candle or incense or some sort of scent that you really love? Is there a way to fill the house with that scent so that you're just kind of bathed in a sense of contentment and something that makes you feel good? And then when it comes to taste, are there ways that you and your family can, make meals that you like? I mean, sometimes it's hard as adults or parents. It's easy to focus on everyone else or what are, my kids going to eat, but what do you want to eat? What really makes you look forward to a meal? Or, is it time to bring out the pretty silverware and dishes? Is it time to, bring out candles on the dining room table and really making an event out of it, and bringing your kids in to help, and just finding a way to make a dinner time fun as opposed to something that's a chore? And then also in terms of our sense of hearing, I think that listening to music is awesome. Blasting music, when you're cleaning, taking quiet time by yourself to listen to music that helps calm you down when you need some downtime. And please take that downtime. It's so important. It's so important, I think, for parents, especially women, to take time for themselves and model for their kids that it's okay for women to take up space and to reconnect with what really lights them up. And then in terms of touch, I think putting on clothes that make you feel good, and feeling good doesn't have to be, I look like I'm going to the office. It can be, these pajamas are really warm, or I really like the way this fleece feels, or I really love the way that silk feels. It just depends on you and your preference. What colors do you like? What colors make you feel good that day? Considering just anything that can help make your day a little brighter. And I think that all of these things have one thing in common, in that they take a little more time than usual. And it's easy to want to do things most efficiently just to get it done, move on to the next task, because otherwise it can seem like taking more time makes it more difficult. But I think that paradoxically, you'll find that taking the time to do things in a way that brings you pleasure and joy and, sparks of fun, that really gives you the energy you need to continue with all of the other tasks you have to do. And that by slowing down and taking time to make things in a way that's pleasurable for you, there's really not anything more important than that right now. I mean, you're giving so much to others, and so you need to be able to recharge. And if that means other people have to do extra things and things take a little longer, to prepare a meal or to get dressed, then that's how it's going to have to be. I just think it's so important for us, because especially now we're being forced to slow down, we're being forced to contemplate and be together. And, I'm realizing that it's a nice way to reconnect with ourselves and think, if we are forced to be in the present in a very real way, what do we want our present to look like? What do we want our lives to look like on a day-to-day scale? Now that we have that choice and kind of the time to make that a reality, what do we want our connections and our relationships to look like? And that's another thing, is connection is huge. So please, please, please take the time to do FaceTime with your friends, to do phone calls with family, to do Zoom, hangouts. Like, parents need that in a big way. Women need that in a big way. Kids need that. Have them set up their tablet and do a Zoom thing with their friends while you go in another room and do your own Zoom hangout. But find ways to connect, because relationships are so important and just so nourishing. I think that's the word I'm looking for. They're really nourishing for our sense of safety, our sense of fulfillment, our sense that things are going to be okay. So I hope that these tips are helpful. They're tips that I'm going to be needing to remind myself of. So I figured I might as well share them with other people who might get some use out of them. So I hope you all are having a good day, and I will see you next time. Bye.